left side would be winking at the other cars as I drove by. And yeah, it's a bit embarrassing when you're constantly doing that. And this is during the daytime, so not even when the lights were on. And so, of course, what does that mean? It means replacing the actual motor that's in the left pop-up light. And of course, as everything is double in the Testarossa, what do you know? The right one starts to mess up just afterwards as well. So that one was just going up very, very slow. What do? You replace both of them and get rid of the problem entirely. That's the fun part of this is, yeah, these parts are obviously not that easy to get. And they cost something, so 1,900 euros later, the headlights are repaired. And that is the cost typically of, well, probably a full service for some cars. But now I have a Testarossa that's working. The clutch seems to be behaving right now. I'm hoping I'm not going to have any problems. My first real drive after coming home from my mechanic. I'm just doing one down the road. And try to make sure this is okay. But my mechanic has given me the confidence that I should not have this problem anymore. Hopefully that's the case. Testarossa is still working very well. So nice to be back in this car after some setbacks. Those setbacks quite often make you question whether you should be driving a classic or not, or whether you should be moving up to something a little newer, more reliable. Ultimately, you want to drive it. You don't want to be sitting waiting for it at your mechanic. And yeah, a car that's 30 plus years old that has that risk, of course. But the Testarossa is the type of car where as soon as you see it, it makes your heart beat. As soon as you get in the car, you forget about all the things that happen. You forget about all the rainy days. And it's kind of a desire car, so that's why it's really important to make sure you have a good one, because it can cost you a boatload if you fuck up, if you make the wrong decision buying one, pardon my French. But that is the beautiful part of this experience, is it just pulls on your heartstrings the whole time, sitting in it, feeling it, let alone hearing it. And that's when it all just stops for you. Like, okay, that's the way I want to go. I'm going to buy that car. I'm going to have that car. I'm going to keep that car. That's what Testarossa ownership is like for me. The 328, the other car I have, is by far the best car I think you can buy as a Ferrari. It's your first Ferrari, it's your classic Ferrari. That car does not do anything wrong. The gearbox is amazing. I've said this before, you've heard me say it. It's alive, it feels like a go-kart. The top comes off, the sound is amazing. It's pretty trouble-free to own the car. This, on the other hand, is not the case. Everything is duplicated. Fuel pumps, everything. And when one goes, typically the other one's going to